Nobody wants to hear you. Nobody wants to hear that. No, no. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Oh, you big stupid idiot. What do you want? What do you want? What do you want out of life? What do you want? You want to just ruin everything? Yeah? You like ruining stuff? Yeah, you like ruining my life. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. You get all the food you want. You get all the pettings. But it's not enough. You gotta destroy my world. That's fine. That's fine. As you go, kitty baby, just want to destroy everything. Alright, well, what's this? What's this? Press die? I don't know. I'm reading a creepypasta about gaming. This one is called Abandoned Servers. And I thought I'd do this one because I've been playing on some abandoned games recently. Abandoned Servers. The link will be in the description below if you want to read along or whatever. You know those eerie feelings you get when you are playing a multiplayer game and there is no one on the server apart from you? Not really. I kind of like it because it's peaceful. Not a lot of people going, "Get good, noob!" But yeah. For instance, boot up Minecraft right now. No, I will not do that. And scope around for some deserted server that is running, but no one is on. Feels pretty weird, right? Well, this is what my hobby was, going around to these barely running games and seeing what people had left behind. Not just Minecraft, either. Counter-Strike, Team Fortress 2, World of Warcraft. Does World of Warcraft have abandoned servers? I thought that the servers were all run by Blizz. What about Team Fortress 2? I don't know. Huh. You'll have to put in the comments below. Do those have abandoned servers? I mean, I know that people used to have, like, hacks available where they could run their own server, like, way back in the day, but I don't know. I used all of these games before. Oh, wait, no. I used all of these games to explore the special servers nearly every day. I logged down what was on them. Buildings, maps, announcements, and then my friend would come along and wipe/build on what I had logged in. I would get paid about $50 for every server I cleared, depending on the size. What? So this guy wants us to believe that he would get paid $50 for finding an abandoned Minecraft, Counter-Strike, TF2, or World of Warcraft server and mapping out what was on it. No, my friend. No, my friend, you did not get paid to do that. No, 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 no. No, no, no. And if you did, please tell me where you got this job, because I would be more than a little interested in doing that. So anyway, I'm sitting there sipping on a Coke when my unnamed friend, due to security reasons, rings me up over Steam and says that there is a really big indie game map that was just abandoned, and he wanted me to check it out. He also mentioned that the map was larger than normal, so he would pay me around $100. What the fuck is this? Okay, is this a troll pasta? I'm calling that right now, or I'm questioning that right now, because yeah, it seems a little odd. Getting paid $100 to log into an abandoned game server. So I accepted and went to download the client. It was an old website. The design was pretty poor and it didn't look very popular. It was fucking Town of Salem. So I speculated that he wanted me to just see if it was working. So I created an account and booted up the game. It looked normal enough. It looked normal enough, sort of like Second Life, that game where you play as yourself and run around and buy/build stuff. Two problems with this. One, Second Life does not look normal. Two, you do not play as yourself, you play as whatever buff bro dude you can make. Or beautiful blonde bimbo, yes. But yeah, people on Second Life usually make like a idyllic version of themselves. I don't really think many people... That or the trolls like myself who make crazy weird characters. If you haven't seen my Second Life videos, I was really proud of those. Nobody seemed to really care though, but anyway. So I started the server maintenance screen and went over some of the hosting stats and found that the server was being run from a single tower that had a proxy. Okay, he started the server maintenance screen on the server. He just... I mean, is he elite hacker? Is he accessing things he shouldn't? I don't understand. I couldn't list the location to get a proper ping to report to my friend, but since he was probably going to delete it, I guessed I would just make it up. Huh. I couldn't get a proper ping And I don't that sentence evades me, but we're going to move on. I scanned over the other active servers, and it seemed like the only active one was this one. He was probably going to wipe it and demolish the company project. So I guessed that's why I'm getting such a big bonus for it. Okay, could you imagine? Okay, servers don't need to be demolished. It's not like like you're buying a home and you have to demolish the interior to rebuild. You just you fucking drag shit to the recycle bin, or you wipe the computer and reinstall the shit on it. I mean, what is this weird thing about mapping out everything on the server for demolition? It's weird. It's weird. It's weird. It's weird. It's weird. And he's getting a big bonus for it. I mean, you're getting paid $100 when usually you would get 50. I mean, that is 2 times what you get paid, but I don't think that's like a huge bonus. I logged into the server, and the loading screen came up. Hints, a bar, and some pictures of people playing. The usual. After the screen had completed, my avatar was dropped into a little forest, which I assumed would be outside of any main city or town. So I walked forward, hoping that some sort of tutorial would guide me around, but nothing happened. The graphics were quite advanced for a game its age. The forest spanned for ages, and the trees were like that of Elwyn Forest of WoW. I told all of this to my friend as we kept the channel open for fast information. Why doesn't your friend just do it himself? I mean, his friend is sitting there, like on Skype or whatever the fuck, or Steam, actually. And he's basically telling him in real time everything he sees on the server. Why doesn't his friend just log on the server and look for himself if he's going to be sitting there doing nothing? I don't know. Kitty, please, go to sleep. Go to sleep. Drink your special sleepy juice. Drink your NyQuil. Eat your little cat treats with the pills sticking out of them, the sleeping pills. All right. After walking around in the forest for about 20 minutes, I came to a bigger than normal tree. It had this big door on the front of it that looked as if it had been carved into the wood by hand, kind of like the ones of Nightmare Before Christmas. Nice reference, okay. But anyway, the cursor came up, and but anyway is actually in the story. I'm not just saying but anyway. But anyway, the cursor came up with an interaction symbol, and then the screen went black, and my voice channel cut out. There was no loading screen, only the sounds of the poorly looped 8-bit music that was on the last loading screen. So I waited and waited until finally the game comes back in with my voice channel. Alright, so the game went away and the game came back. Spooky! The only thing in the entire tree is a big mirror, totally separating the middle of the tree from the other half. My character then walks up to the tree, without my control, and puts his hand toward the reflection. After this, I was suddenly brought to my desktop. Alright, so recapping. Guys paid $100 to go on a server to take note of what's on it because another guy is going to come in and demolish it. Goes to a forest, or lands in a forest, goes to a tree. In the tree is a mirror, and his character touches the mirror. And then the game crashes and brings him to his desktop. Okay. Kitty, please, you've got to shut up. You've got to shut up. There's no 2 ways about it. You got to stop. Here, you can sit in my lap, but you've got to be quiet. Is that a deal? Okay, I think that's a deal. Along with the icon of the game, all the files are missing too. The HTTP has also vanished along with it. I ask my friend if he cut the server, and he replies in innocent no. Oh, I'm sorry, an innocent no. No! Very innocent. No, I didn't do it. Anyway, he transfers the money to my PayPal account and logs out. Okay, so you got paid for doing nothing, essentially. The guy just paid you $100 to load the game and immediately crash. Interesting. So I go to sleep that night, thinking about what I will spend my $100 on as I drift into sleep. God. I wake up about 6 times that night, always seeing that damned tree. It's not even scary, just annoying. It's a vividly recreated mirror, just like the one out of the game, and I keep touching it. Nightmares about touching a tree mirror. Just recapping, everybody. I get up at around 6 a.m. That's usually when I go to sleep. around 6 a.m. What kind of hacksaw is this dude? Fucking hell. I'm a YouTuber. I'm a YouTube douchebag, and I go to bed around that time. I'm not even hacking Gibsons and crash overriding the acid burns or whatever the fuck. I get up around 6 a.m. after being unable to sleep and decide to hop on the computer for the weekend and rummage about on Steam for some good deals. I get about halfway through watching some Saints Row trailer when I get invited to play some CSS. Counter-Strike source. The name was added to my friends, but I didn't recognize him at all. The name, actually resembling mine, keeps flashing, and after a couple of minutes I decide to oblige. The server is pretty normal. Just a Dust 2, with no announcements, and him and myself on opposite teams. It must be a peer-to-peer, because the server name is exactly the same as mine. I bet it's my friend pulling a prank. What a knee slapper. You know, I did this to my friend once. One time I invited my friend to CSS and on a peer-to-peer match in his name, just as a prank. And boy, did the two of us laugh about that for years. Oof. After I go through the options and get my game all set, I decide to buy an AWP. I'm not a gun guy. I'm not a CS guy, so I'm probably gonna talk about this stuff, and you guys are gonna be like, "What the fuck is he saying?" I decide to buy an AWP to shoot this guy with, but whenever I press the key I have assigned to bind the game. Wait, but whenever I press the key I have assigned to bind, the game freezes and goes back to normal after about 2 seconds. So, every time he tries to fire, the game freezes. Wah! Anyway, so I decide it's some buggy server coding and continue with the game with the trusty old Glock. Now I know what a Glock is. A Glock is a type of bicycle? No. After I run out of spawn, I can hear a fair laugh/giggle from the other side of the map. Okay, you'll have to put in the comments below, does Counter-Strike have a laugh/giggle sound effect in the game? Because if you play Counter-Strike a lot, like this guy says, and you hear a sound effect that isn't in the game, you probably would be a little put off by that. But no, he hears a laugh from the other side of the map. He hears basically like... I brush it off a script of plugin and keep running around. I brush it off a script of plugin and keep running around. Okay. Okay, you do you, buddy. I look for this guy for about 10 minutes when I'm about to leave, but I see him in the corner of my eye running under the walkway. I follow him under, but when I re-emerge on the other side, I see not the other side of the map, but the inside of a big tree and the large mirror stretched across my screen. The reflection is not of the terrorist I am playing as, but of me, sitting there at my keyboard. I throw my headset off and check my webcam. Nothing is turned on. What the hell is this? Nothing is turned on except Tormental as he's reading this. Fap, 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 fap. Tell me more about the gigantic tree. Oh yeah, I'm a dendrophile. Look it up. It's a word. In the reflection, my hand extends from my mouse and begins cutting into its arm with its nails, smiling the entire time while it does so. The cuts start appearing on my arms as he giggles and does so. I scream and turn off the computer. Before fading to black, my face is flashed on the screen, all distorted and rotted. I wait about 4 days before turning the computer back on. Yeah, I mean, standard 4-day waiting period after a vision of your own death. Me personally, I probably would burn the computer, but, you know. Kitty, you were sitting in my lap. You wanted to leave. Now you want back? You want back? You realize that Daddy is trying to tell a scary story in a very scary story way. Daddy's trying to terrify people. Ouch! You're just gonna go over my shoulder. Well, bye. Fuck. I need to do this, I tell myself, for work. I turn the computer back on and start Word. The program immediately shuts down and begins booting up Battlefield 3. Word? Okay. What? I say out loud. I wasn't even using Battlelog. This is too suspicious. I am about to turn the computer off in fear of seeing my doppelganger start going all cutty-cutty again. But I see I was invited by my old friend. Okay, this has to be a troll pasta. This has to be a troll pasta. Seeing my doppelganger spelled correctly. But then he says, start going all cutty-cutty again. It has to be. It has to be a joke. Going cutty-cutty, that's not something that should appear. That's a phrase that should not appear in a horror story. The dark figure walked toward me with a knife, going cutty-cutty in the air as he did so. Then he cutty-cuttied my corpse, all the while chanting cutty-cutty, cutty-cutty, cutting up the little man. But yeah. Back to the story. He was invited by his old friend, is what he said. The server is pretty normal, just a squad DM on Caspian border. I spawn and select my weapons. After this, I Alt-Tab and open a chat with my friend. Only static. Damn it. I wish that doing those incredibly wonderful voices didn't wreak such havoc on my throat. It's either that or all the hacks. Alright, only static. Hello? I say into the microphone. Only static is returned. Come on, dude! Don't do this now, I say in hopes of getting a response. Whatever, let's just play, I say. I run around the map, looking for my friend amidst all the bushes and trees lining around the gas station. I see a model run behind a building. Boy, you know, if I had a nickel for every time I chased a model behind a building, I'd have like so many nickels, but it would be like evidence of my crimes. So that's why I don't want a nickel for every time I chase a model behind a building. Cops would be like, look at all these nickels, what's he got these for? And somebody would be like, what if it was one for every time he chased a model behind a building? And they'd be like, we've got our man. You know, and that would be the end of it. That'd be the end of my career of doing whatever that is I do. It didn't look like the silhouette of a normal model in-game. I remember Dust 2 and decide to turn the computer off. I reach up to the power and press in once. I look back down to my screen and all I can see is that all the trees now bear the same door. Oh shit, I say as I struggle to look away. The power wouldn't turn off as my character walks unattended towards the largest of the trees. The door opens, and guess and guess who is sitting against the mirror? Sitting exactly like me. My doppelganger stares blankly into the screen. I think he's staring out of the screen. He's changed since the last time I saw him. His eyes are sunken, and his bones are now clearly visible over the fleshy creases in his face and skin. He grimaces and starts jabbing himself with a piece of wood. I scream as his actions replicate on my body. I reach for the cord as pieces of wood and splinter start cutting into my chest. I finally grab the cord and pull it out. The laughing and screaming die down on both ends of the voice channel. I am rushed to the hospital, by who, and receive around 60 stitches for my cuts and gashes. I sell my computer when I return home. Wow, that's just... You're going to have to hook me up with where you sold that computer. He gets home from the hospital, and he's just like, you know, lists it and it's gone. He just sold it when he got home. A couple of days pass, and things are looking down for me. I lost my job after having too many days off, still thinking about the tree and my doppelganger. Is he talking about the job where he got $50 per server demolished? I don't know. I began walking around the interior of my house. One would think you were already doing that, but okay. I began walking around the interior of my house, thinking about what I can do. I think about mirrors, me, insanity, and how I can overcome this bastard. Then it clicks. The mirrors and trees. I need to get back to the game. Knowing the HTTP is downed, I realize I need to host it. Boy, I bet you're sad you sold your computer now, aren't you, you dumb bastard? Sold your fucking computer now. Now someone else is looking up their horse porn with it. Used to be your horse porn on there, but no. I buy a cheap Dell computer from my local store, despite not having a job or income, and set up a peer-to-peer host in the hopes I can just get me and this bastard in one room again. The server pings online as I enter what I remembered to be the host. Hashes and strings of code from any file residue I can find. God, this dude's such a fucking hacker. This dude's hacking the planet. After working for about 3 days, Jesus, I finally get the server back online. The web address works, and I brace myself as I click login. So, it took 3 days for this guy to like, replicate everything, or what? I don't know. The page is different. It had pictures of me losing my job. There are pictures on the webpage of him losing his job, just like looking dejected at his boss's desk, cleaning out his desk in like a cardboard box, carrying his ficus out of the office. Alright, let's try to get through this. The page is different. It had pictures of me losing my job, as well as my loved ones and crying people being killed. Beheadings, torture, cannibalism, and decapitation lined my screen as the game played that same howling noise when I first met this doppelganger. I don't remember the howling noise. Maybe I missed it, but I more likely think it wasn't there. I log in. I remember the giggle, though. I log in, the loading pages going blank or black once more as I'm dropped into the forest again. It's different. Gore and blood spatter the entire landscape, and bodies hang from the branches. They follow me with their black, cold eyes as my character progresses through the landscape. In real life, I'm shaking. Okay. The barriers of the game and reality slowly drift apart as I advance deeper and deeper into the forest. I am walking on my own now. No keyboard, no mouse. It's me in real life. I continue, falling over corpses as I keep going. I have to do this. I keep saying to myself, I have to. Until I finally come to the tree. So basically he's entered the Matrix at this point, for anybody who's not following. He brought the game back online and got it all, the website back up, and got the game back up and the server back up within the span of 3 days. And now he's on the game again, and he's actually in it. Apparently. I brace myself and walk toward the main door, screaming still ringing in my ears. What screaming? I guess all the people being killed? I don't know. It slows down to mere giggles as I walk toward the mirror. I see myself covered in blood, elongated features, black eyes looking at me. It starts rasping and crawling towards me, breaking the mirror. Now was the time. I pull out my pocket mirror with all my strength. Okay, guys, don't pull out a pocket mirror with all of your strength. It's going to go flying across the room. That's just a tip for all the people listening to this. Kids, okay, if you take nothing away from my channel, kids, just remember this. Don't pull a pocket mirror out with all of your strength, or you're going to accidentally, like, throw it across the room. That's my tip. That's my lesson for the kiddies to take throughout life. I pull out my pocket mirror with all my strength and show it to the doppelganger. I heard a massive burst of screaming echoes, making my eardrums bleed as I held the mirror with all my willpower. I suddenly awaken in my room, on the floor, covered in blood with the mirror lying to my left. Which is odd because I'm right-handed. No. I calm down. It's over. I got up and collected myself. After a quick shower and a glass of water, I got in my car and drove as fast as I could to the nearest bridge over water. I got the mirror and threw it down into the water and began to walk home. Safe. And a hero after defeating the doppelganger. So I guess he trapped the doppelganger in the pocket mirror? Is that what we're going with here? And he threw his doppelganger into the river? And now he's a hero? He's the hero this server needs. Not the one it deserves, or maybe it's the other way around, but Where are the other doppelgangers going? Robin. Robin, Robin, I need the antidote for these stupid pills I've been taking. But yeah. Anyway, he's a hero. That's why I'm writing this now, to save you the trouble of all of this. Be cautious whenever you join any type of empty or abandoned server. You might just start to hear the laughs and giggles echo toward you. And if you encounter your own doppelganger, I fear the worst. A couple months ago, the police dredged lakes around the county and found mirrors, exactly like the one I used to defeat him my first time. And I have a hunch he won't make the same mistake again. What? Okay, first of all, why did the police dredge all the lakes? Secondly, why was there a bunch of mirrors? Were a bunch of people just trapping doppelgangers? By the way, trapping doppelgangers is gonna be my rap single coming out soon. Hanging on the corner with my... No, wait, that's not rap. That's like country music. Let's do a country music album, okay? Hanging on the corner with my gangbangers, filling up lakes with mirrors full of doppelgangers. I don't fucking know. Oh, the police dredged lakes around the country. Found a whole bunch of fucking mirrors with doppelgangers in them. That's it. That's the end of the story. Hanging on the corner with my gang bangers. Gonna get a mirror, trap some doppelgangers. Then we're all gonna pull out our little wangers. Oh god, fucking creepypasta. But yeah, I can see where the story was going. The idea of a haunted, abandoned server is good. I think it kind of went a little beyond when the ghost thing started appearing in other games. That was kind of like meh, and you know, all the blood and gore stuff, and you know, all that kind of stuff. The self-harm and murder is kind of over the top in terms of, you know, a good ghost story. But I think that there is something there that maybe somebody could play with. Maybe I'll write a story. I don't know. You know, about a haunted, abandoned server. I mean, obviously that's come up lately in, you know, popular media. And obviously I started doing a series about abandoned servers because of that. But, yeah, I don't know. Maybe there is a story out there like that already that, you know, handles it in a more contained, semi-realistic fashion. I don't know. Whatever. It's fucking creepypasta. What do you want?